Hello everyone! On this vlog, I'm going to share my life story. A girl from the mountain. I gave that title to myself because I truly am. I grew up in a mountainous terrain of Samar, Philippines. In a small village on the top of the mountain was like normal to me. I never thought about the outside world. My life, all I know that I have an aunt and relatives downtown, and I had a grandma on my mother's side in Manila. That's all, but I don't even have idea where Manila was. My grandma, which is my mom's mother, she used to visit us twice a year. So when she visit us, during the time that she will visit us in summer, that's also the time that we can go downtown to my aunt to be with her. And then after that, we will stay there for like 2 nights, sometimes 1 night, and then she will go with us to the mountain, and then she will stay there for a week, and then before she go back to my aunt, and she will leave us again. And growing up, it was like normal to me that she will come and go. And also, it was the happiest time of my life. Right now, I thought for me, it was our vacation also for the family, because I'm the eldest, so, and I have 6 siblings. So at that time, my mom had a hard time to carry us all downtown. So we always go down, like, we just go down the mountain at least twice a year, just when my grandma visit us. So for the family, it was like a vacation. But I won't blame them, because at that time, the life was hard, especially for them, because they were the one that had to prepare everything, carry all the kids down, even though some of us could walk. But sometimes when it was raining, I remember my father, he will have the carabao towing our stuff, and then one of my brother would be on his shoulder, and me, since all I could remember, I can already walk, of course, so maybe around 4 or 5 years old. For me, I was the one that carrying our clothes. That's all I remember. So for me, and for the kids in the mountain, because like I have friends growing up, it was like I have my circles of friends. Like everyone was friends in the village, girls and boys, group by group. But it was just us. And then since we don't have TV, we don't have electricity, so it was really like playing outside, escaping from house chores, going to the river, staying late at night without our parents, worrying where we were. They just know I was outside, like that. On So, for my friends, they were actually like, wow, you're lucky because you have a grandma in Manila, or you're lucky because you have a grandma that buy you clothes. Little, I was thinking I was luckier than other of my friends, really, because I was also the granddaughter of the, I would say, creator of the village. She was the one that founded the village, and she was the barangay captain my whole life. It was my grandma, my father's side, until she retired. And then my dad took over the job. It's very political, but since my family is known in the village, so it's always my family that at least one of the relatives we called it barangay captain in the village. It's either my dad or my uncle. It's always somebody's related to us. So at that time, I thought, and also we said, my grandma owned this land, she founded it, so they respected my grandma as, everyone called my grandma nanay. We called it in the Philippines nanay, like mama, like that. Everyone called her that way because if she was the grandma for everyone. Everyone knows you, everyone knows me. I know all the people. That's how the small village work, right? So like, everyone's business and all that stuff. So growing up until I was growing up is like, in the village we have one classroom, which the government will send one teacher for the whole classroom, which of the first grade to third grade. The distance from our village to the downtown, which is not even the capital city, is like 2 hours by just walking, rain or shine. Of course, when it was raining, it will take you longer because it's harder to walk, but that's just approximate. So for the people, most of the people that was living in the village, they don't have relatives downtown. That was their downside also, because after they finish the third grade, so it's either, they will ask somebody to downtown where they could live, or they will just quit studying. I know, like, since from first grade, I had that in mind, that after the third grade, I had to live with my aunt, because my parents were telling me that after third grade, you have to go downtown and live with your aunt. You will go there on Sunday afternoon and come back on Friday. And I was trying to convince my friends, just, let's just all do it. But their parents, like most of the parents, when, you have to work for a living, you have to do the farming and all that stuff. So the health of the children is very important. So they would rather choose their kids to, watch the other siblings, or go to the farm with them, which I really don't blame them, because life is hard. So it become the norm that they will just quit. After the third grade, they will just stop. Or even some of the kids, they didn't even finish the third grade. In my time, it's like we will start, there's 20 of us in the classroom. It was June, I remember it was June. By March, when the class is over, just like 6-7 of us that's left. The teacher tried to encourage them that, you should go to school, but you cannot, force the parents. At that time, there's no rules that, you don't want to send your kids to school, it's your choice, something like that. Right now, I believe there's, we called it Department of Social Welfare in the Philippines, that will really make it your required. And there's also government parents to send their kids to study, and which also it requires there's an attendance. So you have to send yours to, like, to keep the money coming, you have to send your kids to school, which is, for me, I think it's good idea, because I do believe education is very important. So bear with me, guys, this is a very long story. Growing up in the whole village also, the only family that have like relatives that finish education was my family. I had 2 aunts at that time that already finished education, and then my other uncle, the one to the next to the youngest, was also studying engineering. But I don't know at the time what he was studying. All I know, he wasn't there because he was studying, and he was living with my aunt. So at that time, if somebody would ask me, he said, what do you want to be when you grow up? I always say, I want to be a teacher like my aunt. Because I have two aunts that are teachers. So all I know was that's the profession that I think, I want to be like them. So I didn't say, actually I didn't say I don't want to live in a village. But I want to be the teacher in the village at that time. That was my dream. So I was thinking, because I never work in a farm, even I live on the mountain, my parents wouldn't force me to go to the farm. Because instead I had to watch my siblings. So, growing up, I know that I couldn't be a farmer because my father was like, you have to stay in the house, watch your siblings, do the house chores. So I wasn't exposed to farming. So I was just thinking when I was a kid that I want to be a teacher. My mom said, that's fine. You can be a teacher, just study hard. But of course, I thought, everything was easy and smooth. And I thought that if I live in the downtown, it would be the same. I was actually excited that when the time comes, I said I would grow up and I will live downtown. I was excited. At the same time, when I found out that none of my classmates, none of my friends in the village is going downtown, I was starting to think, maybe I don't want to go to downtown too. Maybe I don't want to study like them because I would be sad, I don't want to leave my friends behind. I was actually begging my parents, just, my friends, they don't want to go to school, so please, just let me stay here on the mountain. But my parents are believer in education too, so I'm glad they didn't allow me to do it. So, to just stay on the mountain and quit my studies at that time. But of course, when you're a kid, you don't know. I was like 9, so you don't know really what's good for you or not. And especially when you are not exposed to, the bigger world. Because my world was just on the mountain, This is my life. I was, with friends. Even you will get trouble with your mom because you don't listen, you're always outside, but this is the life I want. I was like that. Stay at the river all day long, my parents used to send me to do laundry, especially when she have a new baby. I had to do the laundry, so I was at the river washing the clothes, because when there's a baby, the baby will use a lot of clothing because we don't have diaper at that time. So I had to do all the dirty work. But we have to go to the river to wash the laundry. And which for me at that time it was fun because my friend will go with me even they don't have to do their laundry. And we will stay there until noon, afternoon, and sometimes my mom will send one of my brothers to tell me that it's time to go home or you're already in trouble, you're at the river for so long. But it was all fun, and there was hard work, but our world was like, it was just different from people downtown. I remember one time my grandma brought television from Manila. Don't have electricity on the mountain. She has to put it at my aunt downtown. And then so my cousin could watch, and sometimes they visit us on the mountain. And then she was telling me all this story about actors and actresses. I said, who's that? And she was telling me story about the movies or episodes or whatever that she was watching on TV, and I don't even understand. And even at that, even now I don't watch TV. I rarely watch movies. So even at that time, it's like I don't know these people. I don't care. So it's like it doesn't matter to me. But I, of course, you don't do that to your cousins, right? So you have to be respectful too. So I was just listening her stories, uh and then one time I remember my father bought notebooks, and at that time they will put the faces of actors and actresses on the cover of the notebook. So so I said, who's these people on the notebook? So my cousin visit us and said, oh, this is the actors, this is the actress, and then they will do this and that. But still, I didn't get it. So, but, I have to use the notebook. I was even lucky that I got a new notebook, because some of my classmates will go to school without, just paper. I would say growing up, I was luckier than other kids, because I had a grandma that sending me new clothes, bringing new clothes, and my family also can afford a new notebook, new pencil. It was like, the life was so simple that for me it was just the important, a new pencil, a new notebook, and new clothes. And the new clothes was, and my mom, she have that, you have to keep your clothes, the new one, for the important occasion. So since I was a kid, I have new clothes that I think I would wear once or maybe 3 times a year. The recognition, the fiesta, and the Christmas, and sometimes New Year. So maybe 4 times. And she will just keep it in a carton, in a box. And I have to wear those clothes, nice clothes, when there's an occasion. We don't celebrate birthdays. So I don't even know what was birthday at the time. Like why they have to have a party or what. For me, everything was normal. It's just an ordinary day. I know my age is, 7, and then I'm 8. I also know that, I was getting older, because I was getting closer to the time where I have to leave the mountain and stay with my aunt. But all I know was, we never celebrated birthday in the mountain. It's not just me. It was like everyone don't care about their birthdays. So the big deal for us was the fiesta, where we have visitors, the whole town or the whole village where we'll celebrate the like party, and we have visitors from other towns. So it was celebrated for like 2 days, because they will start coming and they will leave the next day. So it was the big deal for us. And Christmas, of course, we have to sing. We have to go around the village. Even I don't know how to sing. I don't know how I manage that. But I was always part of the caroling and the Christmas carol, sing all this. And it was fun. And sometimes we were actually singing at my house or my grandma's, because they were the one that we were sure that they will give us money, some coins, some pesos. And sometimes even to the other people, if they will say they were sleeping, we still sing until they open their door. It was all fun. It was, and sometimes we will just use flashlight so we can go around the village. And at that time also, on the mountain, I was the top student. Of course, my parents were forcing me to go to school every day. so I was like, it's like it was easy. I could be a top student because my friends are at the farm. So it wasn't a big deal to me, but my mom was really, she won't let me sleep until I finish my homework. And sometimes also, see, it's like when I was in the mountain when I was a kid, I really thought I have a better life than other people, because my mom knows how to read. She knows how to, write cursive, and which is she was teaching me to do all that stuff, and she could read English at the time. And then the other kids, their parents no read, no write, so they cannot teach their kids. So it was one of my advantage, and my life on the mountain was perfect, exposed to the bigger crowd. So I thought I was the princess on the mountain, and I thought it was all fun and all that. So I will continue my story on the part 2. I'm gonna be sharing my journey when after I go down the mountain. See you on the next one.